Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Blueprints, where we are starting a new day, hopping back in the game, and hopefully making some good progress. Day 56, I feel like it's a good one. We've got a package arriving, we've got a blessing, got our allowance, a lot of things going for us at the start of the game. Sleeping mask, 2 gems, 2 keys, that's pretty good. Sleeping mask, what does that do for me again? Each bedroom. Okay, that's actually really handy. You want to get bedrooms. Oh, combined with the nursery, we can get the nursery early. That's actually really good. Hopefully we can get something really nice over here too. So I feel like I don't double check the rooms enough to see if they have the whatchamacallit. Let's go shelter. The little turn dial to turn on the the, the pipes. Anything else that I can see? That wasn't the same painting I was there before, was it? Canned water is crazy. I really want to find that filter. Also, is there anything going on with the vent? I feel like I haven't really looked at that before now, and I'm like, what if? Yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's like underground or like outside, I feel like I haven't discovered anything for that in a while. Like, really want to get further progress on that sometime. I don't know. I looked over here a lot lately. Anything going on with the outside here? Right. So bedrooms, especially if I can get the guest bedroom. Decisions. Yeah, I hate that I'm cutting myself off like this, but I hope it'll be fine. Got a gem out of it at least. Got more steps out of it. Nursery. Ah, nice try. Can I see the final from you? I can. Yeah. It's nice attention to detail. I appreciate it. I wonder if like we're gonna ever run into a room that's gonna feel like an actual like horror game moment. Where it's like, hold on, why is there a person there? You know, that kind of thing. And I'm a fan of the courtyard. I love getting green rooms. I don't know what it is. They just tickle my fancy, as it were. I don't have a shovel yet. Ah, man, I was really hoping that I'd get the whatchamacallit. Maybe I should have saved the bedroom until after I got the nursery, but it's probably I think the ops is a good pick. Don't think there's anything new there, but I can still do it. For gold and estates. Let's run payroll. Are you even done this week? Okay, good to know. Just double check, see if there's anything I need to do. I don't think there'd be any new mail, but doesn't hurt to check, probably. Book terminal access. Oh. Wait, so shelter, if I had put that online, I still haven't really tested that. Nothing new, I don't think. Data transfers, not currently available. Okay. Still don't know how to get in that. Ooh, it makes... I don't like how much that... Okay, the thing is, either way, I don't have a way up. Yeah, sleeping mask and sledgehammer. At least this way I get some diamonds, some gems. But this way I can maybe combine something. Either way, though, I'm kind of don't have options. I'm gonna get the gems and hope I can get something nice out of this last doorway to go through. Box is false. Black box is true. False box contains the gems. So the problem is these contradict. This one doesn't say one way or the other. But it could be true. Okay, no, the way to figure this out, I think, is to open the blue one and see if it's right or not. Okay, because if this one is true, then a false box contains the gems, in which case they're in here. But if this is false, then a true box contains them, in which case these two are true, and this one has the gems. So I think either way, I think they're in here. Yeah. Now that's called thinking with portals. Not really, but maybe. Oh yeah, because I spread gold throughout the estate. Double check over here, because I'm going to be able to get more steps anyway. Let me at least get rich. Money, 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 money. Okay. Money, 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 money. Oh, I get the benefit of the bedroom. Was that there before? I swear I looked here a second ago and there wasn't. Huh. How'd I miss that? Alright. Should also remember that shops can benefit me. Right. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. It is frozen for me. Whoop. Okay. What? Oh, what did I pick? Oh, well, I was gonna pick... Okay. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I was intending to go music room so I could go more to the left. But this is fine too, I guess. This isn't bad pick or anything. It's just I thought music room left me more open to going places. Alright. Let's go reading nook. Maybe if nothing else, I can get the library and have that going on. Yeah, we'll go to the library. Let's read that new book. There was something to this book, right? Like, I remember somewhere. Curse of Blackbridge. Okay, this was mentioned somewhere. It's been mentioned somewhere in my notes. I'm gonna go back to my notes. It is somewhere. Holy Prince. Oop, oop. Obviously, I haven't added the new stuff yet, but there should be something. Oh, there's my webcam. Say hello to my webcam. Should be something about the Curse of Blackbridge somewhere. I don't think it's in these quizzes, but it's mentioned somewhere, and I don't remember where. It's draft strategy, dead ends. Which volume was this from? The tomb. I don't feel like I get how the tomb strategy would work out because you need so many steps to go back. Kirk Darren is a pseudonym. I still don't know for what though. 6. Six human souls. 7. Or sorry, no, it's 7 human souls. 6. That's how many we had. Something like that. Oh yeah, the giant box. This one. Oh, was that the letter that I couldn't quite see because I didn't have the magnifying glass? Oh, way to look at the Island Foundation. I already found that, my man. Order modes. These are really cool. I really enjoyed that. Learning about those. Roman rune. No sign has been found yet. Pump room schematic. There's the prophecy. Like, why did I include these here? Whatever. I remember that the book was mentioned somewhere, though. This is from the book. Training plan for Monday, December 7th. Keys. I don't think it is this showing the whole picture? Not sure it is. Twelve major keys. That's a lot of keys. Any chamber. Oh, that's when I first discovered it. This was from the thing there. Where have we seen the Curse of Blackbridge from? I know I've seen it from somewhere. It was mentioned somewhere, but did I not include that in the notes? Oh. This is volume 1, right? Whatever. It's not happening right now. Whatever. Okay. That's interesting. Alright. Yeah, okay. About to be a lot of reading. Let's do this. Okay. January 1st, 94. Is that today? Am I the first one to do this? Redford Ewing? That name might be important later. It's hard to know for sure. Alright. Forward. Alright. The legend of Blackbridge is that one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. Versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and as one might suspect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised by how much the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt like the most authentic. The story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Interesting. Part 1. The Berry Picker Horse. There's multiple parts to this. Oh god. Oh, this is probably gonna be a lot of reading, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Many years ago, war peace had become a familiar word. There lived a group of rogues so wayward that their locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were frail outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. And for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed. Each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions. No crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise: highway robbery. One such member of this band of rogues, the so-called band of rogues, was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aimed to escape such hardships would take any easy road out. An easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of BLACKBRIDGE Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, the notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. Not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, but was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept sound, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of BLACKBRIDGE Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination. Along the way, Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one might have dedicated several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience had its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his effort would be well worth the pains. Dear God, this is a lot. We're still in part 1. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the sky. I have a feeling that that's related to the actual stars we see pretty often throughout the game. So, we'll see. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket, and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage! A carriage is approaching! The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by two beautiful horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having been witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effort the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper was quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, and not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries." Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had seen many times the same stern expression of the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Man, I have a feeling it's going to go really badly for this driver. Jesper took his cue, finally stepped forward from behind the bush, proudly brandishing the basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number." "And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far." Jesper replied with a scripted response. "A little south of Tanner, just past the burnt woods." "My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled. And while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location close to BLACKBRIDGE Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. "Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by a man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself." Jesper felt happy with this response that seemed to amplify the man's smile. "In my youth, often, but perhaps took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then, my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward." It was Jesper's time to smile. "And let my efforts reward us both today." He raised the basket even higher. "A taste in memory of your youth, sir." The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. God damn. I feel like he could have gotten so much more out of this if he hadn't taken his first opportunity to do something. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes, "And for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of mine." The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged in that particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why do you have no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge to a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. Lockbox in the carriage. Come down, then, and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. Concession, I assure you, of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Yeah, we're still in part 1. Alright, I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Okay. Excusing his experience, the man indulged Jesper away, figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes, displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and hastily returned to the carriage. One hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, stark contrast to the elegant and polished facade on the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed a passage in this vehicle. This was all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's backseat. A large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. In a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out in the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found curved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of the artifacts of the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, There is no key to that box. Jesper stood up easily. Easy enough, then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimension and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. One hit, the stone completely shattered the rusted lock. I kind of expected there to be more to that. Okay. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold and gems, he looked questioningly at the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You've opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger, now Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. One what, you mumbling Agentor? Agentor is probably another combination of words like Mahu was. Okay. And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. Oh my God. No way. No way. Am I understanding this correctly? One pace. So like we go through the rooms. Like we go through. Oh my. Wait. What? Huh? 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 Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, but we're not dying when we finish our day in the house. What the fuck? This is actually kind of crazy. This is actually very, very interesting. One pace. He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead. He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man's head had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted red stone figure, now splattered in blood. I got a picture of these, right? Yeah, okay. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had of course heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past. But now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not have been enough to find another living soul, say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. What good would it do to be discovered here? Man, this is really good parallel to, like, us being in our rooms and running out of steps. To be discovered here, besides a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would be most certainly be better to face one's fate now. Take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. I mean, I guess in his shoes, I feel like I would be hesitant to take any steps too. I'd want to, like, do any thinking or any, like, pausing. I would pause for a few minutes and think of whatever I might want to think of just in case, There's no rush to do these steps. Anyway. His mind was unable to convince his limbs to waste 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the number of short paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. If he made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value. The additional risk of undertaking such a task is too great to chance. Get a good picture. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. And so, after a profound breath, he took his second, third, and fourth steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox whose typical function of securing objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, if I die, if not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2? How many parts are there? Jeez. What a long book. Alright, hold on, let me get a picture. Okay. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her. Miller's a woman. Okay. In such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness. Not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. Taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered she was on third watch today. Quickly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend who was more than likely already asleep. She crept to the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from her haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cave, of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. Miller reached the tree. Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn, Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the moon. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy? Never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. BLACKBRIDGE was the link between the Gentry lands, or the Gentry, I don't know for sure how that's pronounced, and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farm hands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Swimming through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. Not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a moment later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facing, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Black Guard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at BLACKBRIDGE wasn't an unusual sight. It was typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never often seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Black Guard were nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, familiar at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's. The same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage. Cautiously approaching the bridge to cross, instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly directed their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sound was not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Robbie has gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing towards the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. Well... Alright, the moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was, oh, it's fucking what's his name? But why would the blackguard be up top then? Also, was I misreading earlier? It sounded like there were multiple horses going down there, like several horses, not like the two from the thing. Anyway, before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it might be unthinkable the carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of the sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde from the unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The ground seemed even more bewildered. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep, tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Robbie among their number. That was quick. The only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. Okay, but I thought they saw the blackguard on the bridge. The gang's chieftain, Joffrey, is it Jeffrey or Joffrey? Heart Slasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the craft carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body. Beside him, a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness contained a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among nettles in this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. But he had an arrow in him, right? Yeah, okay. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguishable gravestone, a marker that stood out somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke the words, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Ooh, that's an interesting picture they've got there. You can see which one's his. Eesh. Pictures. Okay. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth. Ugh. The far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. Sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. Why was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. louder speech than she ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave. Her eyes now dusted wide, despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Rabia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Rabia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. Oh, the guards. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Frederick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon. The collapsed entrance of the cave. Oh, that's fucked up. They just closed the cave in on him? That's so fucked up. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. That's it? Oh man, that's one hell of a story. Jesus. Oh man. How long was I reading that? It felt like it was like half an hour. Oh man, I can feel it in my voice right now. Okay. Well, I think we still have the thing going on, so why not? Let's go bookshop. Maybe we get lucky and get more money as the day goes on. So hold on. We got a new clue. Which was the final book of that the mom made. The mom. So we only have one more book we need to get through here. I sworn the Curse of BLACKBRIDGE was mentioned somewhere. Alright. I think we went to the shelter today, right? So I think the chapel is fine. Yeah, it's sheltered. Coins. Yeah, I could have done West Wing Hall, but I feel like I want to get the chapel out of the way, you know? That's fine. I just torn on whether I wanted to redraw or not. I get a free redraw here. Security is a good pick here. I do not have the key card. Regardless, though, I think security is a good pick. Anything going on in here? Alright. One trunk. I don't remember where that was at, but somewhere. Let's go low. Confirm. And then let's make these unlocked if the power goes out. Back. Turn. Log into network. I want to double check and see if there's anything that happens when I connect to the other computer. Remote terminal access. We have the terminals, the office. Because theoretically, I might want to go back to the shelter and connect to these two. It's home office. Okay, so that just means I can do stuff from the other one. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, then I want to... I don't think there's anything else I really need to do. That is cool that I can just do these things if I connect to the... Okay, I should do that more often then. Ooh. Key for each bedroom. Well. Oh, I don't think I've seen this at the corner. That's a nice touch. Okay, let's go. 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 Let's go that's cool. Major keys. Was there anything else in here, right? Yeah, I didn't realize I'd have a nice little scout. Oh, you can see the mountain from here. That's nice. Okay. Ooh. Cloister of Reyn. This is not the spot for you. I'm gonna redraw. Let's go with the utility club. That seems like a good pick here. Nothing. Oh man. I love how like every room has their two pictures, and the two pictures for here are just like shoved in a corner. That's a very fun touch. Garage on, dark room off, gym off. And I think we're good. Wait, no, dark room on. Alright. And then we can go up from chapel. And we got just a bunch of rooms that we're very much a westward facing today. I'll go observatory and hope I get really lucky with what I get in the telescope. Also, doesn't hurt to get another star. I was mainly doing this in order to hopefully get something really nice in this. Spend stars to redraw. Please be something helpful. Ooh, okay. Oh, man. Okay, the thing is, pantry gets me there. That's a nice, safe option. I can go two ways from the foundation. Great Hall gives me a lot of options to go for. I have a lot of keys, so I think I'm actually reasonably okay going. Especially if I can get the metal detector somewhere. That would actually be really nice to get for this. Weight room? On one hand, I think I'm reasonably set up to take this because of the benefits of the sleeping mask and hopefully getting more bedrooms. I can get the steps back. But there's also no reason to take this over these two. So I think I kind of want to go with Great Hall here. I think I'm going to open this one for sure. Let's see what we get over here. Ooh, cloister. Oh no, I have one too few. For both of these. Oh shit. I kind of want to keep my visibility though. Let me redraw. Let me go aquarium. Then I get... Oh, yeah, because this counts as everything, so I get a new dice. Can't dig right now, but... I also get more steps because it counts as a bedroom, too. Alright, I'll come back to that eventually, hopefully. Ooh. Let's go hallway. This way we can work our way back to some places. Why does it show my stars here? Or is that just not turned off since I went to the observatory? Vestibule? Honestly, vestibule's kind of... Okay, I don't actually... Never mind, I don't have what I need. I think I'm gonna redraw and just get some money out of this. Ah, man. Okay, this is... If I had the gems, I would love to... I don't want to get archives right now. I really don't, because I want things to be visible. Okay, either way, I'm not getting that room there. So let's at least get some money out of this. Go pantry. And some steps. swear I never see anything extra in here. Just absolutely never. Alright. East wing hall. I think that works. Let's go with the east wing hall. We also have a chance to get that one green room, right? I think we'll go closet here. I think we're really low. Hopefully there's some... Yeah, there's a gem. Okay. Really hoping there would be. Alright. So we've got way more options than we did, which is good. I wish I had more gems, but we'll get to that probably too. I have exactly 2 green rooms. I don't. That cuts me off. I think I'm gonna go dark room. I think the light stays on, right? Yep, okay. Get a key, hell yeah. This was always here, right? Yeah, okay, so it's about getting another picture of her ladyship. Anything around? Anything in the corners? Anything like that? Okay. And this should be open now. Yep. Ooh. Better chance of finding items in green rooms. They know how to tempt me. They know how to tempt me. And the shovel? Aw, oh, you're too kind. I could really use gems. Or at least that one green room that lets me not use gems to open green rooms. Ugh. Use the key. And we got... Ooh, master bedroom would be nice. If I had what I needed. I don't think I've done breaker room yet. Okay, I can have this set up to come back to later. Or I could redraw. I can redraw too. Let me redraw. Okay, because that way I can keep going. Let's go with the boudoir. Seems a good pick. Part of me was really hoping I'd find some gems in here too, but I guess not. That's fine. If I had a gem... Oh, this one goes up. That's not too bad, then. Because I have, like, 2 doors going up in that other spot anyway, so I think it's probably fine. Going on over here? Nothing? Man. Nothing over here? Come on. Let's play your silly games. 6. 20. Is this... multiplying? 20... Was this divided by 10? That's 2. I couldn't remember if that was dividing or not, but I think it's dividing. Okay. Yeah. Oh god, they went 4 already. Okay, 18. Minus 12. 6. Times 2. 12. Divided by 6. 2. 12. Plus 1, 13. Minus 10, 3. Times 3, 9. Divided by 9, 1. Huh? 6. This one was 2. 18 minus 12, 6. Divided by 6. Was this different numbers? 18 minus 12 is 6. No, okay. Times 12 is 6. Divided 12 divided... Sorry. 18, 6 times 2 is 12. Divided by 6 equals 2. Alright. Let's do this again. 12 plus 1, 13. Minus 10, 3. Times 3, 9. Divided by 3 should be 3. Did I hit that before? I apologize for my bad math earlier. It was not intended. We got vestibule, rotunda. I don't have gems. We do have the bookshop, by the way, if we can get a little bit more money. Do I redraw again or just go? We're going to hold on to that and go forward. And hope this is fine. Conference room isn't bad here. There was like an effect to this, right? Like something spread. Spread items are gathered in that room instead. Okay, good to know. Okay, let's get over here. Attic would be nice if I had stuff. Let's go storeroom. At least we get some gems out of it. Coin. Battery pack. It would be cool. They probably do have an item for that, but I was about to say it'd be cool if there's an item that lets you, like, kind of teleport to where you want to go. Like, of the rooms you have in the house, you can just go instantly to one of them. Right. Then you need to go round. Alright. I think I want to open from the aquarium first, just to make sure better odds of being able to go up. Ordinary key. That's fine. Double check these. Is there anything going on with these? Probably should have checked these better at some point. But I was just sitting here like, oh, there's no chance of items. Okay, so that's the laundry room for some reason. That's the, one of the hallways. That's the, fucking, don't remember which one it is, one of the green rooms. That is the normal bedroom. That's the archives. Is that supposed to signify something? Oh. Okay. This limits what I can see, but at the same time, though, it is a guarantee that it can go up. Oh, hey! You know, just in case, okay, I don't need to mess with that again, it's just there. In here. On the desk. Alright. And then I want to go this way first. God, I swear I'm using like all my damn keys. Oh, I probably should turn up the door things for security. What do I have on me? I've got a decent amount of stuff. Might want to do workshop. Even though it doesn't go anywhere here. It's just good to have this. Broken lever. I think I need that in the greenhouse, I want to say. I don't think I can get that. I think it only shows up on the right, and all the right spots are either taken or I can't get there. But hey, maybe one of these combos will do something. Jackhammer? Interesting. Effective than the shovel at excavation. Digs deeper and finds better items. Hell yeah. Does that still only apply to dig spots, though? Not that it's that big a deal if not, but... I don't know. Can I look at the map? Yeah, I'm gonna look at Silver Key, just in case. I don't remember exactly where this is located. Ah, shit. Let's redraw. Dining room. Okay, it sucks that... It wasn't a very convenient layout for this, but whatever. What do we have? Fish. Aquarium in my house. I do have an aquarium in my house. Let's have dinner. So I'm about to gain, like, what, 40? No, 30? Hell yeah. Well, if nothing else, I won't be running out of steps anytime soon. Oh, by the way, we have 46, so if we can make it over to the bookshop, that would be awesome. Which, by the way, I think this might connect back over there. Yeah. Yeah, if I can get something that goes down here, this connects back. Oh, man. Do I trust the vestibule? Do I trust this? Or the weight room, I know for sure gets me over there. Alright, so I still have a shot on the left. I'm gonna give this a shot. Ah, fuck. The locksmith. No, and I can't get back over there because it's... Oh my god. My only shot is opening the antechamber now. Alright. Exit. I don't care, man. There's not... Oh, man. I really tried... I really outthought myself. What was the other option that I could have gone for? The vestibule? I should have gone with the vestibule. Or the weight room was costly, but it was a guarantee. Could have gone with either of those, and I didn't. Alright, the bright side is it doesn't take far to get back there. Actually, no, that wasn't even a big deal. Why was I worried about this? I mean, because I already can go back to the Great Hall and get up there. It's fine. I don't know why I was worried about that. Okay, out of the aquarium and over. Speaking of the aquarium... No, okay, never mind. Oh, I was thinking. Alright. Ooh. But I gotta get the right fucking door. Shit. Okay, I've got 2/3 chance of getting soft locked here. Okay, cool. I'm gonna save my key. That's blocked off up there. Okay, and I've got a bunch of dig spots that I can use my jackhammer for. Coins. Up to 49. Hell yeah. Pair of gems! Oh, that's so nice. I like the jackhammer. Is that it for dig spots? Oh, man. I was really hoping for more. Allow me. Alright, so this is, I think, the only door I really have available. So let's see what we get. Oh, well, I mean, it's nice, but there's nowhere else to go. And I have no reason to do that. So I can either trust in this one, or I can redraw. I'm going to redraw, just so I can make sure I get the money. Alright, cool. Alright, and the gym guarantees they're going to go up, so I'm going to pick that. I lost 2 steps, but that's whatever. I actually have plenty of steps. I'm not worried about steps. Is there really nothing in here? Maybe in like the corner, under the bench, anything? Goddamn. We got study. Bunk room. Oh, I do have exactly 2 bedrooms, but I also have nowhere to go if I pick this. Well, I could just accept this and then go down to the bookshop and buy it. What I was gonna buy. But I am curious if I can do like anything else. I think I'm gonna redraw. Leads to room color of your choice. Okay, that works for me. That works for me. Nothing in here. Alright. I want to go green room, honestly. I don't know for sure if this is gonna take me to the one that I need the green key for. Well, never went that plan. Although, there's the locksmith. But, I don't know, it's not that big a deal to me, honestly. Jackhammer's cool, I got that. Are there any dig spots this way I might want to do? Alright, let's just buy the book. A new clue. And now this should be all the books, so we never really need to use bookshop again. I think there are some dig spots in the courtyard, so I could just go check down there. Honestly, although if I am going down there, I might as well go down to the shelter, connect to things anyway. Oh, good, more money. High Roller is really effective. I really like it. I need to double check if let me check the dig spots real quick. Wind-up key? So, like, in theory, that gave me another shot at... That's really funny that I have, like, if I needed to use that, not that I did, but if I ever needed to use that, that gives me, like, 3 shots. I like that. That's funny. I want to... Oh, I love that it's like a different time of day. You can very clearly tell. I'm going to go back to the shelter, connect to the network. See if that has any effect on things. This is still closed off, right? Let him back out here. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because I think I need to pick it up from that side and place it. Which I haven't done since the first time I did that. I don't know if there's anything else I can get now that I didn't get before. Maybe there is. I don't know. If I want to go down here... I didn't get office. There's a chance there's gold down here now. I didn't think so. Also, there's not, like, one of the little valves, right? Okay. I remember you from Delta Room. Scared me. Also, I should just connect this to network at all times anyway, just so I can. Yeah, I really should have upgraded security once I got the power turned off. I didn't remember to do that, though. You have to turn this. I bet something happens when I get them on. Home office. Is there anything that happens when I connect this to network? Data transfers? Okay. Terminal access. No, it still shows the same stuff. Alright. There's absolutely something that happens if I get them all connected. I just don't know what. Was there nowhere else I could go? Nothing else I can do? I do have the break room that I want to end the day in. 36 steps. I can definitely make it up there, I think. I have 16 gold. Is there anything I want to spend my money on? I have the locksmith. I could potentially just go see if I can get the green key or just buy a key. I could do that. It's down here, right? Okay. Right, so how do I want to get to the locksmith? Entrance hall, den, reading nook, library, bookshop, chapel. It's easier. No, it's not easier to go that way. Okay. Hopefully I got the steps to make it. Did I already put a coin in here? I think I already did. Okay. Just in case the office left any coins. I don't remember how many I even need to get the green key anyway, but I could just buy a regular key if it really comes down to it. I've already seen 3 sheltered rooms. Okay, and then I want to go aquarium, archives, dining room, locksmith. Still have plenty of steps, by the way. Let's see what we can get for 16. All 3 keys or 8 a special key. I don't even get to pick. Let's go 3 keys. Dining room, archives, aquarium, Great Hall, foundation. Foundation, gym, secret passage. Let's see what we get. Oh, spread to each green room. That is nice. Special cost bypass? I don't know why we got a second one of these. But I'm not going to complain. Part of me is curious about which green room this is, though. How far away am I? Okay, break room's not that far. 15 steps, I probably make that. Okay, well, probably get something good out of these. More money. Got a gem. Those 2 dig spots. And a bonus. Good. Yay, the garage. What are the odds we get the garage right here? Ivory dice. I'll unlock it. Could be a commissary. I had more than 2 green rooms, unfortunately. Let's see what... Okay, well, I could get more dice, but I don't know what the point is with how many steps I have and whatever else. Let's go with this. Oh, laundry room. I guess. Well. Road ends here. Anything I want to do? Not really. Alright, 13 steps. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, God. No, but I have to go through the gym, so that's 2. I think I just barely don't make it. Oh no. Wait, maybe I can get lucky and get something out of one of these. I need food. I need food. Please give me food. Damn. Alright, so aquarium. These really didn't connect. Aquarium, hallway, pantry. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. East Hall, dark room, Verdanda. Unless I'm missing some apple somewhere. I have a bad feeling I don't make it. And no, I think I exactly make it. Did I miscount somewhere? 2. 1. Oh, I really didn't think I was gonna make it. That's a win. I really want to get you open. See you over there, taunting me. Then I collapse in here. But hey, I ended my day in here and get the key card. House might be a little bit different. I don't know if that's because Garden Shopping Center. That's a new one. I don't think I've seen that combo. Oh, geez, I didn't think this episode went on as long as it did. I spent a lot of time reading. It was a long book. Alright, but I will stop here, and I will see you all next time in the blueprints. Or no, it's just blueprints. My bad. But yeah, I will see you all then. Bye. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and comment and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you.